What if you could make money while you sleep? And no, I don't mean working a night shift. I'm talking about setting up systems that earn for you 24/7. That's exactly what we're going to get into today, the incredible power of passive income.
I mean, this quote just nails it, right? Think about that for a second. You put in the hard work once, and then you get paid for it again and again and again, even when you're on vacation. It completely flips the old idea of trading your time for money right on its head.
Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking, okay, that sounds a little too good to be true, right? Like some kind of get-rich-quick thing? Well, that's where a lot of people get it wrong.
And this is the key distinction. Passive income is not money for nothing. It's not a magic wand. It's more like building a machine. You've got to put in a serious amount of work or time or money up front to create something that then works for you. It's a strategy, not just getting lucky.
So, today, we're going on a little journey of discovery. We're going to unpack 5 powerful lessons that I learned from some very, very unexpected people. We're talking everyone from a warehouse worker to a world-famous billionaire. And each one of them holds a piece of the puzzle.
So here's our roadmap. We've already busted the biggest myth. Now we're going to dive into 5 key lessons, starting with classic investing, then e-commerce, real estate, content creation, and finally, digital products. Let's get right into it with Lesson 1.
Okay, so our first lesson comes from a place you really might not expect. It's all about the classic idea of investing and making your money do the heavy lifting for you.
You know, my first mentor wasn't some Wall Street banker. It was a warehouse worker. I used to have this paper route, and I'd overhear these guys talking about the stock market. And one day, I heard one of them say he was a part owner of ExxonMobil. I mean, that just blew my mind. It made me realize that investing isn't just for the super rich.
He kept talking about something called a dividend. So what is that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. When you own a share, you're a part owner of that company. And a dividend is just the company sharing some of its profits with you in cash, basically as a thank you for being an investor.
To really get our heads around this, let's use a super simple analogy. Let's just imagine a business that sells coffee mugs. Okay, so let's say you invest just $1 into this coffee mug business. That dollar buys you a tiny little piece of the company. You are officially a shareholder. Now, for that $1 investment, the business promises to give you 4 cents back every single year right out of its profits. That 4 cents, that's your dividend. And this right here perfectly explains what's called the dividend yield. In this case, it's 4%. It's the return you get on your money year after year, paid out in cash, without you ever having to sell your piece of the company. That, my friends, is pure passive income.
So that's how you can own a piece of someone else's business. But what if you wanted to build your own? Well, our second lesson is going to take us into the wild world of e-commerce, where literally anyone with an internet connection can sell to anyone, anywhere on the planet.
And the crazy thing is, the inspiration for this came from a kid I used to help build Lego with. Years go by, I bump into him again, and it turns out he's running an eBay business that's grossing over $100,000 a month. That just showed me the unbelievable scale and power of selling online.
A fantastic way to get started in this world is with a model called drop shipping. You don't need a huge warehouse full of stuff. You basically just act as the marketer. You find the customer, and the supplier ships the product directly to them. You make the sale, they handle the rest. It's brilliant.
Now, if you're thinking about trying this, you've got to keep a few things in mind. First, and this is huge, protect your margins. You have to know all your costs so you're actually making a profit on every sale. Second, find a good niche. You can either sell something that everybody wants or something super unique that people are desperately searching for. And finally, remember that online, your photos and your words are your storefront. You have to write amazing descriptions and take better photos than anyone else. That's how you get the click.
All right, moving on to our third lesson, real estate. For a lot of people, this is one of the safest, most solid long-term investments you can possibly make.
My best friend Stuart was my mentor here. The guy's been crushing it with property investment for as long as I can remember. I always thought you needed like a giant pile of cash to even get started, but he showed me that's just not the case. He basically showed me there are a few different ways in. The first is crowdfunding, where you can pool your money with other people to buy a small piece of a big property. Second is something called rent-to-rent. You lease a property long-term, and then you sublet it for short-term stays on sites like Airbnb, and you pocket the difference. And of course, there's the classic route, direct ownership. You save up that deposit, get a mortgage, and then your tenants literally pay it off for you month by month.
Okay, so from physical things like houses, we're now jumping headfirst into the digital world. Our fourth lesson is all about one of the most powerful forces out there today, the creator economy.
And believe it or not, this lesson came directly from my own son. When he was just 20, he built up a YouTube channel that got so big, brands like Red Bull were flying him all over the world. It was this massive wake-up call about just how much opportunity there is in creating content online.
So how does making videos or writing a blog actually turn into cash? Well, there are a few main ways. You've got ad revenue from platforms like YouTube, then there's affiliate marketing, where you recommend a product, share a link, and get a cut if people buy it. But the real secret, the holy grail, is to create evergreen content. You know, a how-to video or a product review that's just as useful 5 years from now as it is today. That one piece of work can keep earning you money for a very, very long time.
And that leads us perfectly into our fifth and final lesson. This one is all about taking what you already know, packaging it up, and selling it. The light bulb moment for this actually came during a meeting I had with Richard Branson. We were talking about how information is the new gold. I mean, think about it. Airbnb doesn't own any hotels. Facebook doesn't create any content. The internet has totally changed the game. And it hit me. You can create a digital product, like an app or an online course or an ebook, just one time, and you can sell it thousands, maybe even millions of times. You build it once, and it can pay you forever.
So, after all of that, 5 lessons from 5 totally different mentors, what's the one big takeaway? What's the thread that ties all of this together?
It all comes down to this. Your most valuable asset isn't your house or your car, it's your knowledge. It's all those unique skills, experiences, and ideas that are locked away inside your brain. That, right there, is the ultimate source of wealth.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. What do you know that other people would pay to learn? What special skill or expertise do you have that you could package up and sell over and over again? The answer to that question could be the very first step to building your own passive income machine. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey.